guys, I'm So Tragic here. Today I shall be showing you how to be making 3D text, like cool 3D looking text. People have been suggesting it, I guess. So basically what you want to do is, you go to your you click on your clip and then go over to your effects and presets, type in 3D camera, and then it should bring up a 3D camera tracker, and then you do this, and I suggest clicking on a detailed analysis, but that takes a little longer. So since I already did all that, except not the detailed analysis, for some reason it said analysis failed or something. So basically where we want to track the text is right here. When you see a lot of points, it means a good thing, and you want to basically what you do is you click and then you drag it around kind of in the area you want to track your text to. So then you hit create text and camera. Right now this basically just makes some text on the ground, and so you click on your text layer, hit R, and then the X rotation, change that to 90, and then that will make it standing up. So now you have your tracked text like that, but you guys want to know how to make it 3D. So what you got to do is come up to the renderer. It's on Classic 3D, and you change it to Ray Trace 3D. And this might take a little bit. I've never really tried to count how long it takes, but Ray Trace 3D, it takes a lot longer to do clips. So if you're gonna do 3D camera tracking, I suggest having a good computer, because if you don't, then it might actually take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes to wait for this thing. I don't know how long this thing takes. Seems to be a while, but if you want to do 3D text, you're gonna need a good computer. I have 5.4 gigabytes of RAM. It's alright, I guess. So yeah, usually doesn't take this long, but it's probably just because I'm recording. So basically, why I uploaded another tutorial today instead of on the weekend, I realized that to give me something to do on Tuesdays, I thought I'd make a new series called Tutorial Tuesdays, where I'll put out a tutorial every Tuesday. And yeah, whatever you guys suggest, then I guess I'll do a tutorial on it. So now that we're in the Ray Trace 3D, you hit this arrow here, go down to geometry options. Here's the settings I used for my text. I go 1.5, and then set the extrusion depth to 12, and then bevel style angular, and then that'll just take a while to load there. And then when you click on that, what looks good is red, and kind of light red, because when you get the reflection on here, it looks a bit darker. So now we just let that load. See? And probably gonna want to set this up to 1. I don't know yeah, I did. As you can see, instead of it taking like a second or so to render the frame, it takes a lot longer. So that's why you kind of need a good computer. And to make the shiny effect on it, what you're gonna have to do is click on your cinematic layer and then hit Control D, and then that's gonna make a second layer. And then on that one, click on it and delete the 3D camera tracker, and then hit environment, and then click on the one without the 3D camera tracker, right click, come up here, environment layer, and then yeah, it should load, and then it will be kind of there, but it'll only be up in the reflection. So if you want that to show up on your text, you're gonna have to click on that, go to material options, come down reflection intensity, I use 85, and then the reflection sharpness, I turn that to 91, and then let that load. See, and now you got your shiny looking text. Oh, yeah. And that is how you make 3D text. I think it looks pretty cool. But if you don't want to go through all this, and apparently my After Effects just kind of froze, so while it's frozen, I guess I can talk about this other method. And if you don't really have a good computer, sorry, if you don't really have a good computer, then there's this other method that I found out. It's like a fake 3D text. You can't really notice it unless you get really like looking at the side of the text, like from the side view of the text. But if you keep it from the front and like track it, yeah, you don't really notice that it's fake. It's just text layers pushed back like a bunch, and I'll show you how to do that. And I'm gonna pause the recording, then come back when this decides to unfreeze. Never mind, apparently it decides to unfreeze right when I go to, yeah. Okay, so this other method, I'll just come here, click up here, and then get out of ray trace. Okay. So I guess you could do it with a white text. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you gotta click on your text and then change the color from there. And I want this on here, black. I like the look of this kind. Plus, it also makes it kind of look better. So, if you're too lazy to do the other way, there's this other way where you open up your position, and then yeah, yeah. Okay, so you open up your. I don't even know. Okay, well, go to your text, right-click, pre-compose it, and then just text. Make a new adjustment layer. For some reason it's all weird. I don't know why the text is doing this, but let me just undo a couple times. Here, I'll just delete the 3D camera tracker. I'll get rid of that. So I'll just show you how to do fake 3D text and then track it later. Okay, so pre-compose it, and then go. Just name the pre-composed whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Once it's pre-composed, turn it to 3D. Go to the position. Well, first you should probably make the adjustment layer. Come up here, slider. Now, since it's kind of confusing what to do here, I'll put the thing in the description, but as you can see, there's a bunch of clips here. Apparently. Okay, so just yeah. And then this is the expression you gotta type in. It's kind of confusing, so I just put it in here. And then alt click on your text, and then hit Control V. Okay, so now that's there, and then just here, here, and here. So now you have your slider. Come back here, and then pick whip it up to the slider, and you got the rest of the expression right there. But first you have to close it off with a square bracket, and then that's good. So this is where a lot of stuff comes in. Like, you just keep hitting Control D on that text layer. I usually use 60, so you'll see a bunch come up in a second. So yeah, I use 60, and then 5 more. And then once you have this, if you go to your slider, put 0.5, and then it'll make some fake 3D text, I guess. Doesn't look that good. So just for the, sorry, my camera thing shut off. So for the sake of the tutorial, I'll just put like 3 or 2, and then you can see that the text is getting thicker. So select all of them and then hit pre-compose again. There's some pre-compose it to text, and then that gets all pre-composed. So then you can come here and then select all of that, create null in camera. Okay, so now that you have your null, you can hit 3D and then collapse all layers. So it collapses all the layers, and then go to the text and then parent it to the track null. Now that it is tracked, you can slide the text wherever you want it. Like move it back a bit, and then hit R. Bring it up, then a bit to the side like that, and then that looks good. That looks good there. And now you don't have to wait like a couple, like I don't know, like 10 seconds for each frame to render out, and then you have this like your own version of fake 3D text. See right here, you have your own version of fake 3D text coming in, tracked to the scene and everything. Now, since I didn't do a detailed analysis, it might look funny or something, and if you hear, that's just me cracking my fingers. So we'll wait for this. There's some other things you can do on it, but it doesn't really make it much difference, since like if you get really close, you can see that it's just a bunch of layers pushed back. But since we're looking at it from this angle, it just kind of looks black, and that's why I use the black thing there, because if you didn't have it, it'd just be white. So that's why I always put that little black stroke on it. So I guess we'll hit play, and then this is what it basically looks like tracked. And you can change the text, but you have to double click, and then if you double click on another text layer, you can change it to tragic, and then drag it over a bit, and then here it will say tragic, and then in the pre-tracked it'll say tragic. So you, like, if you spelt something wrong, you can go back and change it really easily. Not much you have to do to go and change it. So yeah, and then yeah, so that's basically how you make the fake 3D text. And if you wanted to do the shiny thing on here, you'd have to go to Ray Trace and do the material options, I'm pretty sure. Let me check for you. Text, I don't know, apparently, yeah, you do have to go to the Ray Trace thing. But that's how you make 3D text, and then the fake 3D text. I prefer the Ray Trace 3D text over fake. I mean, if you're in a hurry, then yeah, go ahead, use the fake, because it doesn't really make a difference. It just kind of gives it more of a comic book cartoon look, I guess. So I guess that's the end of this tutorial. So yeah.